So now we go back to cinema and we go to The Duke. So Sharon, tell us about The Duke.
The Duke is based, it's a British film based on a true story set in 1961. And it is a story of when, um, as often happens, when a work of art is in danger of going abroad. Sometimes the British government buy it to preserve something for the nation. And this is referring to the portrait, is a portrait of the Duke of Wellington. He of Battle of Waterloo and the Napoleonic Wars, and
Yep.
he was like the defeater of Napoleon. He was painted by Goya, and it's quite a famous painting. I don't think it's actually the best painting of the Duke of Wellington, but it's a very famous painting. And it was in danger of going out of the country. So the government in 1961 raised £140,000 to save it for the nation. And then it was displayed in the National Gallery. And it's our hero of the film, and in his own small way, as in basically he's completely inept at it. Yeah, he's a bit of a social campaigner, and his bugbear is to say that the elderly and war veterans, this is based in 1961, should have a free television license. The story goes that the film progresses that basically he goes to London to see if he can petition the newspapers and petition Parliament his campaign about free television licenses, and basically no one wants to know. So he decides to break into the National Gallery and steal the Goya, which he does, and he takes it back to his home in Newcastle. Yeah, and he then proceeds to write to the Home Office and write to various people saying that I have got the Goya, just I'll give it to you. I'm not stealing it. I don't want anything from it, but I think you should give it that £100,000 should be used to spend money on the license fees for old people. And basically, it's quite a long story short. He basically ends up handing himself in eventually with the painting, and he goes on trial. And then you have this sort of quite a classic trial, basically, where his defense is basically that he didn't actually steal it because he never intended to keep it. He was only ever borrowing it to highlight this social injustice. And the film is basically about what happened to him, and it sort of builds his picture around his life that, he didn't, there's no theft because he didn't intend to keep the portrait. He was only borrowing it the same way, we would borrow anything and maybe be delayed in giving it back.
So now the thing is, when you're describing that, the phrase "non more British" comes to mind.
Yeah.
In that, it feels like this couldn't be a more British, more British eccentric story if you tried, especially because it's based on a true story, where the bones of the story are real. Actually, did happen. That he did take the Duke. He did go up and he did have all these ideas. Obviously, it stars Jim Broadbent, and if you wanted to make a character in a film lovable, it's hard to go wrong by after you've cast Jim Broadbent, especially with Helen Mirren playing his wife.
Playing his wife, and Matthew Good playing his solicitor. It's like tick tick tick. All these British drama.
It's like heartwarming British drama. And I know that this film has been delayed for ages because I've been seeing the poster for this film in the cinema I go to in Redditch, since Christmas 2000 since Christmas 2020.
Wow.
Yeah, the poster for The Duke has been up on the wall since then. It was supposed to come out. It didn't come out. It was supposed to be released. That it hasn't, and then finally it's here. And I think this is a film that I really want to see, probably more than most right now. I really want to see The Duke. I want to see what it says. So I want to see what it has to say. But anyway, how many stars would you give it? What would you think of The Duke?
I enjoyed it. I mean, it is very British. It is of its type. So I would give it a good 3. But I still think it does what it's supposed to do. It delivers. It's entertaining. It's interesting. Makes you think about some things. So I enjoyed it. Yeah, definitely a 3.
Okay, so a 3 for The Duke. Jim Broadbent and Helen Mirren. I hope that they are just as delightful together as they are in my dreams.